I'm ready. I'm ready.
Hello,
I'm ready.
everybody.
I'm ready.
Welcome to the
I'm ready.
Gamers
Oh,
Tavern. Come in, sit down, and grab a drink as we talk about anything from work to politics. So, how are we today?
tired. Very
Ta-
tired.
aren't we all?
Exhausted.
So, how's everybody's day today?
Oh, just the last day of the month and everything going out at once. Oh, great. Me banging my head off my desk.
Could have
Oh,
been better,
oh yeah, I didn't
to say
real.
the least.
I didn't realize it's now officially February.
Yep. Insane. Last 4 months of January are finally over.
It's like finally. I now need to wait 11 months for my birthday again.
Yeah, doesn't that suck? I only have to wait 9.
Wow.
Oh, just you? Just you have to wait 9 months?
You have to wait one less day than me, which is shush.
Wait. Is you guys' birthday like a day off from each other's?
Yes.
I'm the 18th and he's the 19th.
So for one day out of the whole year, she is 1 year older than me.
I'm 26 hours older.
And I get to call her an old hag. Don't look at me like that.
Then next you know, my host here is never gonna be found again.
It's found on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not
Wrapped up
gonna
in a
be.
rug.
Nope, you're not gonna be found on the side of the road. But remember, I got ways to hide a body.
Oh, that's a great thing to announce on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know,
They don't know what I look like.
me all fairness, like we're not exactly like a true crime podcast. Although that would be a cool episode.
It would be.
A feature episode idea.
Side note, we could do that now.
Oh, I don't know any true crimes though. Like
Dude,
on top of
John
my
Wayne
head.
Gacy.
I mean, obviously outside of those.
John Wayne Gacy, the Zodiac Killer.
Twins. Who were the twins?
There
Twins.
was
There's twins that killed
yeah,
their mother or brother.
it was the Martinez twins, I think, is what they're called.
Oh yeah, Martinez twins.
Yeah, no, and then there was like obviously like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah,
Did the twins kill their dad or their mom?
I think it was both.
I think it was both, and then they went to a NBA game.
NBA game.
Oh no, I'm not even kidding. They actually did.
No.
Or there's also the Chiefs fan who like used to do bank robberies, so he could go to like every Chiefs game and went to the Super Bowl like 20 different times. And he just recently got caught.
Yeah.
Who?
I don't remember his name. I was a Chiefs fan. That's all I know.
Okay, yeah. So, they were convicted of killing the parents.
Wait, they did YouTube?
But yeah, I swear, like there was a picture of them at an NBA game after they killed the parents.
2013, Martinez was convicted of murdering Jose Merez, sentenced to 50 years in prison. 50 years, my God. 2015, Martinez was convicted of 9 counts of murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. 2019, Martinez was convicted of 2 counts of murder and sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences.
This is like probably one of the best I could get. Like they were actually in attendance.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Gosh dang.
That's an old photo.
Yeah, because they were older people. Okay, they were brothers, not
It's
twins.
Menendez, not Martinez. It was Menendez.
Yeah, like yeah, because I remember seeing that picture, I'm like, damn. That's chilling. But
Hey,
like
I kind of got it right of what their names were.
Eric and Lyle Menendez.
wait a minute, that picture I sent you, it was on a basketball card. Like an actual like player card.
Uh-uh.
I swear to God, hold on. No.
This the chair from downstairs.
Yeah, it's the broken chair. It's the Timu chair. I have one of my own.
Yeah, it's a Timu chair. Yeah, look.
Oh my god. That dude probably had like that card was probably worth like 10 cents before they realized who was on it.
Yeah.
Can I try the 1911 with my Coke, please?
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah,
And if I like it, I'll drink it when I'm over here.
Yeah, I have this bottle in 1911 that I bought because it looked good. It tastes like I'm chewing on a piece of bark.
huh.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, as I said, like this could be like a full like probably like next week's episode. We're
Why
talking
not
about
now?
this. Because
we already agree what we're talking about.
Exactly.
It's 2 against 1.
Yeah, no, and this is your we're gonna be talking about politics. This is your warning if you don't wanna, listen to it.
Trigger warning.
Just in case. Because obviously because we have to give warnings about that.
Yeah, because people get offended too easy nowadays.
Alright, but anyway, okay, now we should be good. Okay, so like I know I said something earlier today about Trump wanting to like get rid of like a couple like holidays and all that.
What holidays are those?
Hold on. I know I sent them. Hold on. It's Black History Month, Women's History Month, Pride Month, Holocaust we Remembrance Day, Juneteenth, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and other holidays.
Oh boy.
Let's see. What is your guys' opinion on that?
I mean, some of them we can kind of get away with. But like Martha King Jr. Day, like that's a day in history.
That's the one I
Yeah,
was
but
saying
have you
can
heard about
stay.
his case files?
I actually
That's
That have
haven't.
been locked up for like if you read into some of his case files, because Trump released the Martin Luther King Jr.
JFK
case files, yeah,
too.
and JFK case files, and granted, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, but he was very guilty of and has even admitted to in part of that case file. Soliciting prostitutes, cheating on his wife, assaulting women, sometimes even male prostitutes. He was conspiring, I think that's how it's pronounced, with a communist leader that was residing in the area that he was living in.
What?
Kind of tastes like a beer to me.
I
Kinda.
actually did not know that.
Yeah. You looked at literally just Google case Martin Luther King Jr. case file. It's been covered up for like the last 60 years, and I think that the whole reason it was covered up was just to protect his image. Because had they known that 60 years ago, he wouldn't have been as popular as he was.
Yeah, no. I mean, he'll still be popular, but probably not as.
Yeah. I mean, back then, being a person of color was difficult enough. If they found out he was also soliciting male prostitutes, that would probably be even worse because even that wasn't as accepted as it is now.
Yeah.
The only thing that would, as bad as it sounds, the only thing that would really like fly under the radar would be like assaulting women because that was actually almost commonplace back then.
Yeah, and it sucks. Like, you should never do that.
it's weird what was okay
Yeah.
not that long ago.
Yeah, no, because oh my god, I was about to say something. Yeah, like, okay, like obviously there are like laws today that were put in place, but like you said, like 60 years ago, that was sadly normal.
Yeah, like 60 years ago, you could walk through Ohio with your ice cream cone in your back pocket on a Sunday. You can't do that anymore.
Oh my god, there's law.
Yes, that is a real law.
No, I looked up this law. I forget where. I think it was in Arkansas. I forget. You can't honk your horn in front of a sandwich shop after 9 p.m.
Oh my gosh, I think that's a New York law.
Yeah, no, and then in California, you can't look for your lost canary before 7 a.m.
I have to wait till 7:01 to go look for my canary.
Yes.
Sorry, do you want to know a Pennsylvania law that is still around to this day because it was
I think I
just
know.
never removed?
I think I know which one it is, but
What is it?
is it the one where like you can't sleep inside a fridge?
No. Um, this was put in place back when there was still horse and buggy around. So it was like the early 1900s. They passed a law that if you were driving your car near a horse and buggy and the horse got spooked by the vehicle, you have to pull out a white piece of canvas and drape it over your car in order to make the horse think it's something else and to not be afraid of it. And if that doesn't work, you have to pull the tarp off and start dismantling the vehicle until the horse is no longer scared.
Even though I
Huh.
feel like dismantling the vehicle would make the horse even more scared.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Hold on. I looked this
But yeah,
up.
that law is still around because of the fact that cars just became more commonplace and eventually outnumbered the horses.
Alright, so okay, so I looked up 50 weird laws in the United States. The first one is common sense. Don't know why it's law.
Huh?
In
It's a common sense.
in Alabama, it's illegal to drive blindfolded.
So what you're saying is I could leave Georgia blindfolded on the highway, but as
Yes.
soon as I get in Alabama, I'm in the wrong.
Yes.
But it's okay to fuck your relatives.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's okay. Just don't drive blindfolded.
Yeah, and mind you, these laws were made because somebody did them. Just remember
Yeah.
that. Someone
Someone had to do it
Yes.
before they went, you know what? We can't punish this guy. We should be able to. I want to meet the guy who did that.
He's
probably dead by
Yeah,
now.
he's probably dead.
Probably crashed.
Alright, the next one. In Arizona, it's illegal for a donkey to sleep in a bathtub.
They run out of hay?
I mean, you can always replenish the hay in the bathtub.
Yeah, but who brings their donkey indoors and goes, okay, nap time?
Well, they didn't say nap time.
Sleeping, nap time, same thing. Last place I'm bringing a donkey if I had one is in my bathtub.
What if there's a tornado or something? Do you want to leave your donkey outside?
A basement.
What if there's a bathtub in the basement?
You know what? That's a good
I
point.
mean, you must say she does have a point.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Alright, the next one.
Make him sleep on the floor. I don't know.
And
Just don't make him sleep in the bathtub. You get arrested.
in Colorado, it's illegal to keep a couch on your porch.
Well, what about outdoor couches? Does it specify what type of couch?
It
'Cause
just says couches.
Well, for the ones that are made for outdoors, they're not considered couches. They're considered long chairs. Long chairs.
Long chairs? No.
I'm pretty sure. You're gonna look it up, aren't you?
Absolutely. My mouse is right here.
Why
No,
are
I
you
was
looking
just
that one
curious
up?
because I was just curious. That's not a lawn chair. That's a therapist couch. That is exactly what that is.
Outdoors.
But yeah, I was just curious because my cousin had an outdoor couch, and I wanted to know if that counted because it's literally made to be outdoors. Well, look at that lawn chair. It's not a couch.
Huh.
Hmm.
Is like the more you know.
I believe you need to say something.
No, I'm not doing it over the podcast
Why?
because you would end up gloating.
Oh, I'd be playing it every time. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
None of these are couches. None of them are couches. Oh
Hold
my
on.
god, that's a bench. Literally, it's a
I
picnic
saw it on a
bench.
box once though.
Alright. The next law in Iowa, you can't throw a brick onto a highway.
I mean, that makes sense.
What if there's an accident and the people coming up the highway can't see it, so you throw a brick down to get them to stop, thus saving their life.
No,
Then what?
because that brick can end up bouncing off of the pavement and bouncing into their windshield and killing them.
What if they're far enough back that it doesn't matter?
Or fucking up their...
What if it's far enough back it doesn't matter? I just saved their life.
What?
You're welcome.
Why are you okay? You know what? Never mind.
I'm trying to find loopholes just to get away with it.
You should know better about loopholes
fine.
with me.
Isaac,
Bow wow.
try to find a loophole for this one. In Kentucky, a woman cannot marry the same man 4 times.
Okay, hold on.
What woman would want to marry the same man 4 times? If it didn't work the first 3 times, why go back for a 4th?
After 2 times, I would say give up, but 4? Wait a minute. Now, hear me out. What if she changes her name before getting married? Therefore, her marriage license would say a different name.
Then, technically speaking, you reset the counter. So then you can marry him 3 more times.
If anybody's getting married 6 times in their lifetime,
to the same person.
Yeah. Now, I've heard of people who have like 7 failed marriages, but it's all with different people.
Oh.
Who married the same guy 4 times?
I want to know.
At some point, by the fourth wedding, the gifts from the guest is literally just gift cards. It's like, I gave you a toaster, I gave you a blender, I gave you a microwave. I can't give you anything else. Just take this gift card.
Huh. Alright, next one. In Maine, it's illegal to park in front of a Dunkin' Donuts.
What? Huh?
But what about a parking lot? Like, what if that Dunkin' Donuts has a parking lot?
I guess
right
not.
In front of it.
I guess not. I guess apparently the town of South Berwick loves his Dunkin' Donut coffee, and I guess it caused a mega traffic jam.
By parking in front of it?
I guess.
Is it on the side? Is it on like the very front of the side of the road? Like the only thing separating that Dunkin' Donuts from the road is a sidewalk? That I can understand.
I mean, I would assume. That's like the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, that I can understand because it would cause quite a bit of a traffic jam, but
Alright. Next one. In Maryland.
So ladylike.
That came out so quick.
In Maryland, sleeveless shirts are banned in public parks.
There goes half of my attire.
Well, sorry, Zach. I guess you can't go to Maryland. and go
Yeah,
to.
I literally have so many cut off t-shirts because of how hot the shop gets. We
Yeah.
don't have an AC. And we're like, oh, why don't we just get an AC? You know, we'd be able to afford it. And they were like, because the shop would fill with smoke because of you people. And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, all of your robots have fume extractors, thus removing the cold air from the building. I'm like, you know what? You got a point there.
Yeah, he's like, good point. Alright. In Michigan, you can't sell your vehicle on a Sunday.
That's actually a law in a couple different states, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a religious based law.
Yeah.
Kind of like how some people don't like going to restaurants on a Sunday or going to the grocery store on a Sunday because they don't feel like it would be right to have someone serve them on a day of rest.
On a Sabbath day.
Oh, well, you know what I mean. But
Let's
yeah, I've heard there's a lot of places like that.
let's see. In Minnesota, dirty tires are banned.
What do you consider dirty tires?
It says like anything. It says mud, dirt, or anything else.
Well, then I'm screwed.
It's because you don't wash your truck.
Every road I go on, I get dirt on my truck. My work parking lot is nothing but dirt where we park.
Tell
I go-
those Indian guys that own the company to pave it.
They're too cheap for that.
Yeah,
They'll
this,
be down in Mexico can have a full-on Christmas party, give out TVs, refrigerators, deep chest freezers, gaming consoles, the whole like 100 yards, and
mindful.
we don't get paid enough to be thankful. They will have you doing 6 to 7 jobs on your base pay.
That's what I do. I'm doing weld tech stuff and I'm not getting paid like a weld tech.
Yeah, but as soon as they offer it to you, you're gonna take it.
That's if they even offer it. It's still up in the air. It's not even set in the stone. They're thinking about adding it.
That's why I said.
What is this law? In
What, weld
Montana,
techs?
no, in Montana, it's illegal to give a rat as a present.
Oh, what?
A rat.
I thought you said lat. I was about to be like, what's a lat?
Well, that's a rat. And a rat's not a gift. That's for sure. At least not in, what, Minnesota, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to have to go to Montana to give someone my pet rat. I call him Whiskers.
I'm surprised it's not whiskey.
Missed opportunity.
Let's see. In New
As you
Jersey,
have.
bulletproof vests are banned while committing a crime.
That makes the job too easy. You can't play on easy mode.
yeah, I know. You have to play on hard mode.
Imagine.
This isn't no Minecraft.
What?
Creative mode. Easy mode.
Oh,
Yeah.
Minecraft.
oh my god.
I just like
That almost went above my head.
It did go above your head.
Almost. You explained it and then I got it. Just imagine someone's getting charged with robbing a bank, and one of the charges gets you like a year in prison all because you wore a bulletproof vest. It's like you're spending 45 years in prison. Why 45? You wore a vest. That's
Alright. Okay. In New Mexico, quote, idiots are banned from voting.
I mean, have you seen what we've received lately for presidency
that's
You know
a
what?
good point.
Yeah, that's actually fair.
and how our economy went? I wish that was an all New York state, all state law.
It's a federal law. No idiots can vote. You
Yeah.
have to have a certain IQ to vote.
Yeah.
Our voting registry would drop down to 7. How do we go from 80 million to 7? We don't let the idiots vote.
It's like, alright, that's fair. Let's see. In New York, slippers are banned after 10 p.m.
Oh,
Flippers?
no, slippers.
Yeah, slippers.
You can't wear slippers after 10.
I'm wearing them in my house. If you want to come into my house and tell me I can't wear
I'm gonna
slippers,
put you under citizen's arrest.
I
Yeah.
am going to shove my slippers so far up your butt.
You can
You know,
swear.
I don't know
There's
why.
no one stopping you.
I can actually see this one happening. In Ohio,
Oh, God.
it's illegal to sell dyed chickens.
Dyed? Who's dyeing their chicken? What color would you dye your chicken?
I don't know
When
why.
you dye ham, though, green eggs and ham.
Oh yeah.
Because what if you don't eat pork?
Last I
So
knew,
you
you
can
don't
do
dye ham, you dye the eggs. Green eggs and ham. If it was green ham, it would just be green breakfast or green eggs and green ham. If my ham was green, I wouldn't be eating it. I'm just saying. Because that means it's spoiled. Would you stop hitting
Yeah.
me? It means it's spoiled.
Huh.
Not always. Not if you do food coloring.
Okay, but it's called green eggs and ham. If the ham was green, we have a problem. That's called salmonella.
Let's see. In Rhode Island, it's illegal to race a horse on a highway.
I mean, in New York, you're not supposed to have horses, riding horses on the interstates.
She's not even kidding.
Yeah.
There are signs on almost every interstate that says no horse and buggy.
Let's see.
No
Motor
horse.
vehicles only.
No horse, no bicycles, and no walking, I think.
Does a side-by-side count? Because it says motor vehicles only, and that is a motor vehicle.
It is technically.
No. I mean, as long as it's road legal, I think it would count. Turn signals, headlights.
It's very difficult to make a side-by-side road legal. It's easier to make a dirt bike road legal.
I think as long as it's road legal, you can.
Okay, this one's slightly creepy.
Oh boy.
In Texas, you can't sell a human eye.
What?
Black
Oh.
market.
The black market's illegal everywhere.
And
not just Texas.
and-
They're not special.
Let's see, and it also says also includes like the kidneys too and all that.
I would oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had to specify
you
that.
you can sell the kidneys and the liver, but don't you touch those eyes.
Yeah. Oh.
I think it's everywhere. I think it's illegal to do a contract with somebody. So I believe it's also a law in Washington that you can't do that because I had a family friend who needed a kidney and there was one person offered like, oh yeah, I'm a match, but I'll do it for like $4,000.
I just sort of thought they had to state like other like body parts.
I think it's not the selling that's illegal. It's just the way of
accumulating.
That's it. I think it's what's illegal is the way you got it.
Alright, let's see. Okay, the last one I want to mention. In Wyoming, buildings that cost $100,000 plus must display pricey art.
Must display what?
Pricey art.
Pricey art?
Yeah.
For
See,
what?
I guess you need to.
What's considered pricey? I can draw a stick figure with the sun and a smiley face, and I could say it's abstract.
You can
and price it at $50 million, and then it's pricey.
Sadly, you can.
That's modern art nowadays. Have you seen some of Jackson Pollock's paintings?
No.
You don't. It's not worth. It's literally just paint slathered on a piece of canvas. Literally, take some paint in your hand and sneeze into it, and that's a Jackson Pollock painting.
Oh my god.
I'm not even kidding. Look it up. That's where the joke from Guardians of the Galaxy is like, oh, don't put that on. It'll light up like a Jackson Pollock painting. Because his Jackson Pollock paintings are literally just a mess of colors.
Oh my
There's
god,
no,
yeah.
There's no concept. There's no shapes. It's just a mess of colors.
Yeah. Alright.
You would get more art if you took a paint can, shot it with a shotgun, and threw it at the canvas.
Alright, and then, okay. Okay, now we had that out of the way. Let's go back to, politics stuff. Alright. So, obviously, we know the main thing about what Trump wants to do.
Which,
Alright.
for
Immediately,
a majority of it, I'm on board with.
yeah. The first main thing I want to talk about is just getting illegal immigrants out.
I am completely on board with that.
I'm on board too.
Deportation is quite literally a get out of jail free card compared to almost every other country on the planet. Because if you go to almost any other country and enter illegally, you don't get thrown out. You don't get told, hey, don't you do that again. You get a prison cell. We're one of the only countries that does not prosecute our illegal immigrants.
But a lot of countries also have like a certain length of time that you're allowed to be there on visitation throughout the year.
Yeah, before it's considered illegal immigration.
Like you actually have to leave the country for a certain amount of days before you can re-enter.
Yeah. But if you were to stay there indefinitely and be an immigrant that has entered illegally and not followed any of the laws they have set in place, you get thrown in prison.
But there is some extensions. So like say plane, like you have plane tickets or something like that, but like you had a medical issue or the flight was delayed or pushed back.
Yeah, because you showed some attempt to leave.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. But there's people here who have lived here their entire lives and entered the country when they were like 5.
See, I kind of understand for like younger kids. Like if your parents came in illegally, but with you being like, under their control pretty much,
Yeah.
you don't have a say of where you're at. And
No.
if America's all that you've ever known, then...
And that's why I think, if they're under the age of 18, at least close to the age of 18, they should, be granted an opportunity to become a citizen, because if you've lived here your entire life, what's the point of throwing you back into whatever country you came from without at least giving you a chance? But if you get, these 40, 50, 6-year-olds that have lived here for the last 30 years and have just slipped through the cracks and have committed countless amount of crimes, then no, you should not get that opportunity, because we have what's called sanctuary states, where it doesn't matter if whatever you did, it could literally be murder. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you don't get prosecuted for it, which is almost what happened to Laken Riley, because she was slaughtered. It wasn't just murder, it wasn't an attack, it was slaughter.
Yeah.
Completely unprovoked, had no reason, no rhyme, anything. And he almost got away with it. And I'm really glad that they passed the Laken Riley Act, where it does not matter what country you came from, how long you've been here, or where you reside within the U.S., there is no sanctuary state. If you committed a crime, you will be prosecuted for it.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that got passed.
Yeah, I don't have a problem if you're here legally. I don't care about that. I'm fine with that.
He's even said it in the past. We want you to come. Just do it the right way. Because there are so many people all over the country who came here legally and are U.S. citizens and are absolutely fuming with all the handouts that illegal immigrants are getting. I mean, I think it was like $150 billion of taxpayer money is spent every year on housing, food assistance, cash assistance, medical assistance for people that don't even live here.
Can we talk about how he's cutting back all that too?
Yes. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Did you know we were spending $50 million on condoms in Gaza?
What?
Yes. I'm not kidding.
I actually
It
did
was
not know that.
Yeah, $50 million was getting sent to Gaza to buy condoms.
That. Well, I'm actually dumbfounded by that.
Yeah, it's insane. Because I can understand sending money to a foreign country if there is a rhyme or reason behind it. Like, they're one of our allies, and, we're part of the fight. If we're not part of the fight, we should not be sending them money. But $50 million to Gaza to buy condoms? Little up there, little insane, little pointless, too. But yeah, that's one of the things he's cutting back on. And it's really nice to know that the US people just had no idea what we were spending money on. Because if you look into that, I think it was a bill passed, mind you, it passed in 2014 during the Obama administration. Um, I think it was called like the Gaza Safeway Act or something like that. But it was a bill passed to give them a $50 million budget for contraceptives. It wasn't just condoms. It was condoms, IUDs, NB, all these contraceptives for Gaza. I've never been to Gaza. I had no idea that we were spending all of our taxpayer money on that. And what's really funny is that there are so many people trying to justify all the money we've spent on these stupid things.
No.
It really is funny because it's like, oh, we're not going to make all that money back with tariffs. We need taxes. And people are just saying left and right, well, actually, if we just stop funding illegal immigrants that aren't even supposed to be here, don't pay taxes, and do nothing for our society other than take a paycheck and walk away, or sending money over to Ukraine, or sending money to Gaza to buy them condoms, then no, I don't think we can afford all that. But you want to know what we can afford? The basic necessities. Because in 1913, that was the last time the federal income tax was implemented. Because prior to that, federal income tax was simply for emergency use. It was used during the Cold War, it was used during the Civil War, it was used during World War One. World War One is whenever it stayed. Because after 1913, it never went away. We've been paying it ever since. But before that, it was only ever used during wartime situations because it was money for the war effort, which makes sense because in order for us to win, we would need money.
Ooh, can we talk about how he's also putting back on all forms, only 2 genders?
Yeah, I was
Yes,
gonna
that
bring
is
that
so
up.
nice.
Because as an EMT, because when this was first all starting of like, putting more than 1 genders, we not have to physically ask, sorry, but were you born as a female or a male? Because no matter if you're going through the transition or you have gone through the transition, your body is like your mind is always going to need treatment as however you were born.
Yeah, like men and women can't take the same type of medication. And if they can, it's often in different dosages.
Mm-hmm.
That can do a lot of damage. Oh, I'm a female, but you were born male and they give you a female's dosage. And it can do a lot of damage.
So I feel like in a way with transgenders or anybody like that are gonna try to go away with like, with how they were, how they feel more than what they were born as. Because I was reading an article that popped up on Zach's computer was how Trump told federal employees to remove pronouns from the email signatures. So that's what like brought it up.
The main reason I'm glad it's going away is because of how much they need to be accepted. And I know that sounds bad, but when it first started and the whole like I was born male but I'm female, woohoo, that was great. Glad to hear it, happy for you. But then they started demanding things like, oh, we want a bathroom. So we gave them a transgender bathroom where only they would use it. They would have privacy, woohoo. And they were like, no, that's not good enough. I'm a man, legally, born a man, but I want to use a woman's bathroom. And I know there's way too many sickos out there to make that okay. Because, yeah, just looked it up, man in woman's bathroom. The first thing that's going to pop up is a grown man dressed as a woman going in the woman's bathroom. And a lot of times, like, imagine we had your niece with you and she needed to go to the bathroom. I'm not taking her to the bathroom. You would, in the women's restroom. If I saw a man walk in there, I'm taking his head and putting it on the concrete.
See, so I saw this thing on Facebook to kind of go with yours, where this dad, who is a single dad, and he did not feel comfortable taking his daughter into the men's bathroom because his daughter said, "Daddy, I have to go pee," and he wanted suggestions about it. He was like, "If I was out in public, how would females feel about, like, you know, me coming in with my daughter to use the female's bathroom?" And a lot of females were like, just announce yourself, saying, "Girl, dad, girl has to go to the bathroom."
It made sense.
Because they were all saying, like, we'd rather you have your daughter feel more safe in something she would have to get used to.
Make you the uncomfortable run rather than her.
Yeah. And, like, you know, if you needed something for her, more than likely a female's gonna have it.
Oh, yeah. Without that, that's girl code.
Than a male. And in a male's bathroom, because, like, you also gotta think, a lot of females' bathrooms also have changing tables.
Yeah, I have noticed that. Men's bathrooms don't have those.
Yeah. So, like, especially, like, if you have a daughter and you need a change, or even any baby, and you need a changing table.
Because you're not about to change them on the floor.
Yeah.
Because men, we drip.
Because, like, that aspect was like, you know, we need more people like that in society, of, like, you know, just like announcing, like, hey, I have a baby, I need a changing table, or something like that, or like, girl, dad coming in. Like, that's kind of like the more acceptance of men being in a female's bathroom.
Yeah, rather than a man in a wig with a beard and a dress.
Yeah.
Going into the women's restroom and potentially there being children in there, which, like I said, you can feel and act and be whoever you want to be. I don't care. But know where the limits stand. Because if I had, like I said before, her niece, she's 6 years old, right?
I think she will be 6 years old.
Will be 6, okay. I can never remember her birthday.
It's in May, that's all I know.
But yeah, if I saw those two go to the bathroom and then a grown man walks in right behind them, I'm dragging him back out. Because I don't know. I don't know if he's, you know, harmless and, you know, he just wants to use the restroom, or I don't know if he has ill intent, and I'm not about to sit there and wait to find out. I mean, we tried being accepting and giving them their own bathroom so they had privacy and they don't have to intrude on anyone else or someone else intrude on them, and that wasn't good enough. They wanted what they wanted, and at the end of the day, we don't know if that person is right in the head to where they just need to use the restroom or have ill intent, and it's not worth the risk. It's not worth sitting on the bayside and just wondering, well, I wonder how that could have changed, because you're just letting people get hurt that way. And like you said earlier, not all people are bad, and I firmly believe that because I saw a post where this guy had a daughter and she needed to use the restroom, but he didn't feel comfortable going in the women's restroom, so he went into the men's. And someone saw him walk in and was like, "Oh, okay," and then just grabbed everyone and took them outside till they were done. And I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet," because he gave them the whole bathroom to themselves. Because he couldn't figure out if he needed to use the women's restroom or if he had to take her in with him. And someone understood, okay, let's not make her feel uncomfortable and let's not make the dad feel uncomfortable. Give them their own space.
Because, like, Walmart, they have a family restroom, but it's all the way in the back.
It's also always either full or disgusting because it never gets cleaned.
Yeah.
So, because up front, I've noticed, like, there's a changing table in the females, and then that's it.
Yeah, there's no changing table in the men's room.
I will admit, there are some restaurants out there that are starting to put changing tables in both bathrooms, which kudos to them. I think it should happen everywhere, like every single business.
Well, the whole reason is because being a single dad is becoming more and more commonplace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 20 years ago, being a single mom, that was way more common. But nowadays, it's a lot more common for the men to be single because of, family situations or even health situations.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I may not agree with everything he says, but the majority is there. And that's one of them because, like, who was that Olympic swimmer or the college swimmer?
For what?
Women's swimming. He was a man.
What was her name?
Yeah. This dude was like 456th in the world for the men's division. And he came out as transgender and was second in like a month. And I don't, again, be whoever you want to be. But you're stealing opportunities from these girls because he was getting like sponsorship deals, he was getting scholarships that would have gone to women because those women have worked their entire lives to get to the point that they were in.
Yeah.
The people that were in second, third, fourth just got bumped down even further because of him. Because I don't like believing it, but in some instances, men have an advantage over women.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't like believing it, but it's just natural. It's nature. Men were bred to be the providers.
Because if you think about this, like, imagine a male playing like in female basketball, for example. The male will like dominate, like he'll make like the most shots and everything.
Yeah.
But if you put
because men are really good at following a pattern.
Yeah,
because it's the hunter instinct in us because we notice patterns and we follow them. If we notice that this guy's leaving us open on this spot of the court, we're going to take advantage of that. Just like you would when you're hunting an animal. You notice that this animal is going to the same spot every single day. You're going to get there before him and wait.
Yeah.
Because it's either that or starve.
Yeah.
It's just instinct.
And then like
it's natural.
And then we could do like vice versa, where you put a female into male's basketball.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There are some women in the NBA who would just stomp half the people in the NBA.
Yeah.
But it's just certain instances where men have the advantage and certain instances where women have the advantage.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't try and compete like that for everything.
Yeah, no.
That's why there's separated divisions because, as we've noticed in swimming, he was 456th in the world in the men's division, went to the women's, he's 2. And he got tons of scholarships from it because he's better than all the rest. But the problem is that he was stealing scholarships from all these women who have worked hard to get them. And they just got told, oh, we have to accept him. It's part of the DEI bill. Sorry. And that's just, it's not fair. Not to mention the DEI bill, it is so stupid. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for, inclusion and, a diverse ethnic background. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But you shouldn't hire someone solely because of that, because the government's paying for kickbacks. That's another thing. The government was giving kickbacks to companies to fill in these slots of, oh, well, you guys don't have any Latinos hired there. If you hire some, we'll give you some money, and it's paid for by the taxpayers. So then you got all these people filling positions that they can't fill because they've never done the job before. And they only got hired because they fit in this little box that they can check off and go, hey, pay up. And I'm so glad that he put in a new bill. I can't remember what the bill is called, but I read into it. And an employer cannot discriminate you based off of your racial color, race,
Oh yeah, I saw
skin
that.
color, ethnic background, sexual orientation, sexual identity. Cannot discriminate you against you because of any of those, which is what the DEI bill wanted. Was they didn't want discrimination, but they also wanted people to hire because of that. The new one that he just passed, you can't discriminate because of that. You have to hire them based off of merit. Meaning, can you do the job and can you do it well? Not, can you fit in this box so we can get paid
I mean,
and get a tax cut?
I can kind of see it, but at the same time, I kind of don't.
I can understand wanting to fill in ethnic backgrounds, but it should not be your main focus. Your
Yeah.
main focus should be hiring the best people possible to do the best job for the best price.
Yeah, like if you're running a business, you want somebody. You want let's say you want a retail store. You want somebody, to run the cashiers well enough. But you don't. But then you don't want somebody that is super slow and all that.
Yeah, you want someone that's gonna for a business. You want someone to do the best possible job for the cheapest possible price.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hire someone just because they fit in an ethnic background and they have no idea what they're doing because they've never done it before. That's gonna end up costing you money.
Let's see. And I always believed in this. Nobody's gonna do an amazing job on the first day. I do believe that give enough training, anybody can do anything.
Absolutely. I mean, when I first started at my job, I was horrible. I was horrible, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I was awful. But here I am 4 years in, and I'm comfortable with where I'm at. I'm learning still, but I know enough to get the job done and to be reliable and able to be expected to do a good job. I mean, today I ran a ton of parts just because I didn't want the guy after me to run them because they messed up last time.
Yeah.
I wanted the job to get done right, so I did it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what employers look for, is they want someone to do the best job possible for the cheapest price.
Yeah.
That's how a business survives.
See, when I started my job, I got training for 2 weeks and I got put on second shift. I learned a lot of my job by self-teaching.
Yeah, that's what some of mine was too. Because on second shift, there is no one to teach you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, you know enough. Throw you out to the wolves. Yeah, I didn't know how to make a commercial invoice from scratch. Didn't know how to do a pool bill of lading. It's pretty much just like where everything gets combined into one for a shipment. Didn't know any of it.
Yeah, YouTube saved me a number of times. Because
Mm.
on second shift, no one cares what you're doing, just as long as you're working. And if my machine's running, I'm sitting there watching a YouTube video, no one's gonna care.
Yeah, no, because you're learning, you're teaching yourself.
Sort of. That YouTube's teaching me.
Yeah.
But yeah, YouTube was literally how I found out how to clear certain fault, because they were going through people's lockers because we had parts missing, and the last time this happened, someone stuffed parts in their locker. And they were going through people's locker and they came across this book that I had And the book is just how to clear fault codes off of each robot, because there are some you got to follow a certain step process in order to clear it, and if you don't follow it, you're stuck with that fault and your machine can't run. So here I am looking up product numbers on these robots and how to clear certain faults, and they came across the booklet where I'd written all of them down, and they're like, what is this? Where did you find some of this? Because even I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, oh, I just found it on YouTube. Just looked up the product number of the robot and looked up a YouTube video on how to change it. And if it worked, I wrote it down. And that's the type of thing that people want to see, is that initiative. That, yeah, I want to do a good job enough that I'm going to take time out of my day on my off time where I'm not even supposed to be working and trying to figure out how to do a better job. And that's what they want with that new bill, is for people to hire based off of that, not you fit in this category, good to go.
Like I'm also with you on that one. Like as of late, I've been like actually like kind of like doing like some like research on my own time about like how to like do better editing for YouTube, for example.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine if they put someone else in your position that's never seen the YouTube like website a day in their life.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, they fit within this category. They're perfect for the job. No.
Yeah.
No.
And an audience. I forget if I said this before, but in high school, I took 3 years of broadcasting for like I was essentially I helped with the school news. So I know how to like record on like a camera. I know how to like edit.
Yeah. You at least have background
Yeah.
experience. And that's what that new bill wants, is to hire based off of experience, merit, skill set. If you can do the job right.
Listen,
Because some of these companies, they were just hiring anybody. It doesn't matter if you even had experience or not. They just wanted to make sure they fit within that category, because they were getting kickbacks from the government for filling those spots.
yeah, and I will admit right now, I'm not the best. I'm not the best at it, but I'm learning. That's all that matters.
Yeah, no one's going to be an expert overnight.
Yeah, no.
No one's going to be an expert in a month. It's going to take time to get to where you're at.
Yeah. And that is today's like word of wisdom. You're not gonna learn everything on your first day.
Rome wasn't built in a day. I mean, hey, it even took God 7 days to build the earth.
Yeah.
Well, actually 6. He rested on the 7th.
Like, it's perfectly fine if you don't know how to do something on your first day. It takes time to learn.
Yeah.
Just don't lie on your resume.
Yeah, actually, oh my God. We had this guy who lied on his resume, came in for a weld test, completely trashed it. He was like, I take it you're not going to call me back. And my boss goes, no.
Just like, no.
Good luck.
Have fun.
Yeah. Another thing is he was only going to work there for 4 years, and then he was going to retire because the company that he was working for, they shut down or sold their business or whatever. And he still had a couple years before he could claim his retirement without like penalties. And he was getting bored just sitting around. So he tried applying to different places just to have something to do and to put a little bit extra in his 401k. But yeah. What's the next topic of the presidency do you want to talk about? So far, I've listed only good things.
Let's see. The next thing is pretty much like, the next section I see is like make America affordable and energy dominant again.
Yes. I also want to go with the fact that he wants to take away taxing on any overtime.
Yes, and tariffs.
Oh, yes.
Zach.
And tariffs.
Yeah, Zach. I know for a fact we talked about this in a previous episode, but there was actually a update. I think today, Trump's officially gonna put tariffs for Mexico, Canada, and China.
Oh, thank God.
Starting
My business is screwed.
starting today.
Good luck. My business is going to be doing great. We buy almost everything from the U.S. The only thing we don't buy, we buy it from a U.S. territory.
There's a trucking company out there that's also screwed because they have a contract with us.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole bunch of countries that are screwed.
Actually,
Yeah.
two that are screwed.
Yeah, like
Because,
Well, would we charge a tariff for things going out of the U.S.? Would we charge that country?
I actually don't.
Because as far as I'm aware,
much.
tariff is just coming into the U.S.
Yeah, I already know coming in. I don't know about going out.
Yeah, because you wouldn't charge the company just to export something. Places would go out of business.
Listen, I was trying
Quick
to
question.
find it. What's up?
Companies that neither of us work for, but have contracts with. Oh, wait, they have contracts with your business.
they have plenty of different contracts with a lot of people.
Well, yeah, we have contracts with the government, but that's not the point. By the way, I have government contracts.
Very small minimum government contracts at the moment.
We have a lot. There's a lot of stuff we make for the U.S. military. It's insane.
You told me there was like a 3%.
3% of everything that the military has made is coming from us. But 14% of everything we make goes to the government. Everything else, it's countries, international or domestic. We also hold like an 80% market share on the entire tanker truck business. 80% of any tanker truck you see on the road, there's an 80% chance. Actually, no, any tanker truck you see on the road, there's an 80% chance it has my parts on it.
Like, is it your specific parts or the company's?
Companies.
It's possible that it's also mine, though. Because just the other day, I was behind a tanker truck and I saw a part that had my initials on it.
How? I thought you had to put your initials on the inside.
It is technically the inside because if you were to attach like a pipe to it, it would be covered. But the part that sticks out when it's not attached to anything, you'll see it.
Was it your chicken scratch?
I don't have
handwriting?
chicken scratch.
You do have chicken
I
scratch
do not have
handwriting.
chicken scratch.
As you scratch your butt.
I don't have chicken scratch.
You do. You kind of do.
I'm gonna be
No, I
honest.
don't.
I have
There's
gone
a
off
piece
with
of
handwriting.
paper right there.
Yeah, look at this chicken scratch. It's horrible. How can anyone
That's
read
mine.
that? Yeah, look at this
That's
chicken
mine.
scratch. How can anyone even read that?
That's my handwriting.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You're sleeping on the chair tonight.
I'm not sleeping on the chair.
I'll
I'll make
on
you
the
sleep
floor.
on the floor.
Yeah,
You can sleep on the floor with the dog.
I don't know how I feel
That's
about
fine.
this.
It's my bed. I made the
Technically.
rules.
Technically.
Technically.
Where did it come from?
That's not the point.
Who bought the bed?
But
Technically, your parents.
No, they did not.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I have her bed. I know that sounds weird, but I had a twin mattress because it was just me. I had no reason to get a bigger bed.
Yes, you did. You just didn't want to bite the bullet to get a bed.
What was my reason?
Coda.
That's a good point.
How many times did you tell me you were either pinned up against the wall or on the edge of your bed, halfway falling off?
She's a bed hog.
I wonder where she gets it from.
I don't know. Let me tell you one thing. She loves this bed. So much room to sprawl out.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many times she'll jump up onto the bed, just flop right over and just go,
yeah, but yeah. Anyway, tariffs.
I love them.
Let's see.
My company is gonna hate them.
Oh, that's fine.
Let's see, because it's either gonna be amazing or it could potentially backfire, but I don't see that happening.
The only way it would backfire is if people are so addicted to buying overseas goods that they would end up paying the tariffs.
Yeah.
I kind of hope with the tariffs, it brings business back to my company.
That's the whole reason they want to do tariffs, is to bring more business back into the U.S. because we're like all of our clothes, where are they made?
China.
China or Bangladesh. I just noticed my hat the other day made in Bangladesh. Like,
See, he's mainly
computer
doing
parts
it. He's mainly doing it on auto parts, though.
for now,
Yeah,
because that's where a majority of our purchases are. That's our biggest purchases, I should say.
really?
So does that mean?
I thought it was clothing.
Hyundai, Toyota, parts of Toyota, because Toyota trucks, they're still made in the U.S. They're actually made in Texas. Mitsubishi, Subaru, Volkswagen,
Audi.
McLaren, Lamborghini, Audi, BMW.
Like it pretty
Almost.
much like pretty much. I think the only car companies that are made in the U.S. I think was Ford, Dodge, Chevy.
Oh, no. Parts of Dodge and parts of Chevy. My truck was made in New Mexico, but I have a friend of mine who drives a slightly newer 2500 instead of the 1500 like mine. His was made in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's parts of Dodge and parts of Chevy, because her truck was made in Michigan, but I also know guys that have Ram trucks that were bought from other countries.
Wait, how do you know my truck was made in Michigan?
That's where most of the Ram trucks were made during that year, was Detroit, Michigan.
Oh.
I had like a 90% chance of being right.
Oh, I got asked today where my truck was because I wasn't parked around back like I'm not supposed to be.
Alright, so like okay, so I looked up like car companies in the USA that was made in the United States. Buick, we have BMW.
Some of it, not all of it. Some of it is still made in Germany.
Okay,
I'm gonna say like the classics are made, like the basic
let's see,
BMWs are made
Yeah,
in
like
New
base
York.
models.
and obviously this company is blowing up right now, but obviously we have Tesla.
Yeah, I don't consider that a car.
But Cybertruck? Oh,
Dude, that is a children's drawing of a car,
it's
and they
so
went,
cool.
"Yep, that's what
No,
that's
it's
what we're doing."
not.
I don't know why. I love it.
It's a box that was hit with a hammer.
I want to own one.
Gross. I know a guy who's probably willing to sell it because he has one and he has nothing but complaints.
Let's see. Okay.
I'll see if I can talk him down for you.
I want to ask you guys a question.
Probably not.
Do you guys prefer electric or
No.
no? Don't like electric cars?
No. There are a few instances where electric vehicles come into play where I actually don't mind them, but for hauling, you're not going to get the same power.
Let's see. I can a Tesla like carry more than like a Ford for
No.
like
No.
depending on the truck?
Nope.
No.
The towing capacity is not anywhere close. The not the tailgate, the bed capacity, almost half the size of a regular short bed, not to mention a long bed, because they still make long bed trucks. It's a fraction of what a long bed could carry. And the longevity of it for like miles wise, not even close. Because I have a buddy who is still driving truck to this day, and his name's Michael. Oh, you're disgusting. I smell that. She farted. Anyways, honeymoon's over.
It's been over.
Shush.
Within
Anyways,
like the first month.
shush. But he still drives trucks, and he sent me a photo of him stopping at a Pilot one day, and this Cybertruck. Well, I don't want to say Cybertruck.
Yes.
It was the Tesla Semi.
Oh.
It pulled up. Yeah, it pulled up into the gas station. Well, not the gas station, but the truck stop to park for the night and go to sleep. And he happened to be talking to the guy in the shower as he was walking out of the shower, and he was like, "Hey, what's that thing on the back? Because if you look at it, there's just this giant box in between the cab of the truck and the trailer. And he was like, "Oh, that's the spare battery." He was like, "What do you mean a spare battery? Isn't it just one big battery? Because semis have like 16 batteries. A regular semi, like combustion semi, they have like 16 batteries. But the Tesla semi is like one giant battery." And he was like, "Yeah, that's the spare battery. It helps me get like an extra 100 miles." And he was like, "How much does that thing weigh on top of the trailer, which can have up to 100,000 pounds in it? How much does that thing weigh?" "Oh, about 25,000. So, you have a trailer hauling around, let's say 80,000, because that's what they normally are when you're running coast to coast with a fully loaded. It's about 80,000 pounds. Plus the 20,000 pounds from the cab. Now you're at 100. Plus the 25,000 pound battery. Now you're at 125. You're hauling around 125,000, and you're still only getting 600 miles between each charge. Mind you, a 150 gallon semi can run 2,000 miles without stopping for fuel.
Not all of them actually.
Let's see. You guys gotta think we all still also
They
kind
actually-
of new to like electric cars, so
Yeah.
it'll obviously increase over time. Like obviously with Ford, like they're gonna have like they've been around for over 100 years.
Yeah, and I can understand, you're going to have some hiccups in the beginning. What I don't like is the government pushing for us to all have them. Because there's people left and right saying, "Oh, well, we need to have electric vehicles by this year, and this company's going to it's going to be fully electric by this year." And it's like, what if we don't have all the problems figured out? Because those Teslas, they use lithium batteries.
Yeah.
Those are supposed to be exposed to extreme heat.
Extreme heat, water, air, can't have any of that. Direct contact with water and even just moisture in the air it can spontaneously combust or even explode. It's extremely volatile. That's why when they're in a battery, they're under a vacuum. You can't have them exposed to anything. And the problem is that if you get a rock chip just right or hit a pothole just right, you're now driving around on a fireball. Which, if the electronics go out, you also can't stop.
Which I will.
Because your brakes would go out.
Like there were a recall at one point because the actual like pad that controls like 90% of the car stopped working.
Yep.
Yeah, because
imagine driving down a highway. You look at like your speed because I'm pretty sure that, it shows like your miles per hour on the pad, and you see, oh, why does it say I'm still doing 50 miles per hour when I'm clearly not?
Weird.
Yeah, because back to earlier with you saying they get like 2,000 miles on a tank.
It can. That's not always guaranteed, but it can get up to 2,000.
I had a driver say he can it depends on actually different few models of different companies and stuff. They get mainly maybe 500 at best, even with the newer models.
Now, here's the big question. Is it 150 gallons per side or just 150 gallons entirely?
Entirely, because they're trying to cut back on how much gas they use.
That's so stupid.
With a lot of new companies and their newer models.
Let's see.
That is so stupid. I only say 2,000 because my dad would drive about 2,000 miles per week, and he would only stop for fuel about once a week.
Because I have a company.
And he had 275 gallons.
Had a company that's north of where I live. He used to travel to Michigan every week. And I asked him once, I was like, "How much do you get paid for this?" They're like, "Oh, they wanted to go down to like $700 for a 6-hour drive." He's like, that doesn't even fill my tank.
No.
That gives me maybe about half.
So he gets paid by the hour? So he still gets paid by the mile.
But they wanted to give him $700.
No. At the highest my dad was making like 75 cents a mile.
Yeah. He's been with the company for like a while, and he lives in PA. And because I asked him one day, I was like, "Wait, why are you guys not taking this load anymore? I'm gonna miss my regulars," because it was like him and like 2 other people who used to pick up all the time for this load. And he was like, "Yeah, well, they want to go from 1,300 to 700."
No.
Which the company that now picks up and drops off, they already have a contract with the company they drop off at for a warehouse.
Love that.
So they can get away with, oh, yeah, we'll pay you $1,300 for this load and just take the additional money that they get from the warehouse to pay them.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like EV. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some instances where it can work out, like hybrids. Because obviously, if you're driving down the highway and you're at a constant rate of speed, you would use less gas because you're relying mostly on the electric. But if you're in a city where it's constantly stop, start, stop, start, stop, start,
Gonna kill the battery.
you're gonna have a dead battery.
Yeah.
So in some instances, yes, EVs can be the advantage, but in a lot of different ones, you're not going to have the same advantages as a combustion engine.
Oh, I made the decision tonight, by the way. I crashed my truck. I'm getting a Dodge Durango.
Let's not say if you crash your truck. How about we knock on this desk?
It's not. It's not
wood.
actually wood.
It is wood.
It is pressed.
There is a dead tree in here, and you're making fun of him.
It's dead shavings.
Did it start as a tree? It's wood.
It's not hardwood.
It doesn't matter. It's wood.
It's soft pressed wood.
Wood is wood.
And
Well,
I agree with that.
You try driving on
joke.
icy roads and sliding while going down a hill and almost hitting 10 different cars. That's why
are
I
you
wasn't
hitting cars?
I didn't hit him.
I mean, it wasn't the water spigot enough.
Oh, God. I'm waiting for the message from his dad in the spring.
I really
Hey, you want to
know
come
how that
help
was.
fix this?
Yeah, she completely destroyed a water spigot.
No, it actually was still standing upright.
You still did some damage, even though it did a lot more damage to you than it got. But yeah, from her driver's side door,
Middle of my driver's side door.
to her tail light, it is scratched and the tail light's broken.
And dented.
Yeah.
It's dented in the backside of my cab.
Yeah. There's a line going down the entire side of her truck.
Technically 2 lines.
You're not helping. You're actually making it worse.
But no, I decided, well, I kept sliding. I was like, if I total my truck, I'm getting a car.
Yeah, but it's still hot that you drive a truck. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm not getting rid of, I just made the decision. If something happens with my truck, I'm getting a car until I can afford 2 vehicles at once again.
But yeah, some instances, EVs, fine. But in other ones, no. Because the amount of travel time you would get with a Cybertruck compared to even just a gas truck, it's nowhere close. Hauling 2,000 pounds, I still got 18 miles to the gallon. And normally I would get close to like 21, 22, right around that on flat highway. 2,000 pounds, I got 18. I can travel 18 miles on 1 gallon of gas versus an EV that has to stop a lot more frequently to charge. Not to mention, you can't even do anything while it's charging.
I mean, you could sleep.
True.
I would sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I also do want to say this, like electric cars in general are actually better for the environment.
No, it's not.
I thought
What
it
if we had
was.
a power outage and you can't charge your vehicle and your vehicle's dead, and if you need to do an evacuation, you're screwed.
Yeah. But people will say, "Oh, well, what if you don't have any gas?" I have 5 gallons of gas in my shed that will tell me that I can get out of the city.
Yeah, but gas goes bad.
That's why I burn it before it goes bad. It's still good for like a year and a half.
I mean, if you keep it cool, yes, but if you have it in the sun, no, it will not.
That's why it's in the shed. It's not in the sun.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'll bite you.
But they say it's better for the environment, and in the long run, yes. But the factories that made it are not powered by windmills. I mean, not windmills, wind turbines, dams, like hydroelectric dams. Not all of them are powered by that. Most of the time, it's powered by the normal power grid, which is almost entirely fossil fuels.
Yeah, which like obviously like I can see like in like the future, like that's gonna change.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, if you come up to where around here, we have a lot of oil around here. You come up to around here, you'll see one pump jack in the middle of a green grass field. Versus if you take a tour of a lithium mine, you're taking out huge chunks of earth. Literally thousands and thousands of tons are moved per day just to get lithium out of the ground. And you need a lot of it to make one lithium battery that goes into an EV. Not to mention, once that lithium battery goes bad, it's not worth anything. You can't save it. With a car battery, it's made with acid and lead, both of which are regeneratable.
Yeah.
Regeneratable.
Regenerates.
I don't know how to say it, but the lead doesn't go bad. And to rejuvenate the acid, all you got to do is dilute it and then remove the water, and it's immediately brand new acid. That's why whenever you take a car battery into like an auto parts store, you get what's called a core charge, because all they do is recycle the battery.
Oh, that reminds me. If I get my brakes, my rotors at one of the shops nearby, oh, let me forget to take my rotors back.
Oh, the recycle rotors.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, around here you only get paid by the poundage of scrap steel. I don't
They'll
know.
charge a core charge for rotors.
Neat. But yeah, if you look at almost any fossil fuel mine or anything like that, most of the time it's a lot more well kept and a lot less damaging to the environment than a lithium mine. Not to mention the lithium mine, what's removing that earth from the ground? Combustion engines. So, in order to get that, you've already burned a bunch of fossil fuel to get it out of the ground, and then you're burning even more to put it into a vehicle. And then to charge it, you're burning even more. So, in the long run, if you have, a renewable energy source to charge it, yes, it is better for the environment. But in the short term, it's one of the worst things you can do. Because all you do, instead of you burning the fuel, you're just off-putting the blame on someone else.
Wow.
You need to paint your calipers red.
Not the same.
That's what they did. They just painted them red.
It's not the same.
It's the same.
It's not the same.
Oh my god. It is the same. It is
still
the
not
same.
the same. No, you don't know logic. It's not the same.
Gore logic is expensive. What have I done? Give me this ring back. You're too expensive. Hey, don't bite. She threatened to bite me.
I could bite something else.
Okay.
No, don't you dare. So, anyways, what's your next topic? I'm ready to shoot it down with fury and hatred.
I'm getting ready for bed.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, I think we should wrap this up for today.
What? How long have we been recording?
Yeah,
Over
over
an
30
hour.
minutes.
Oof. Want to record episode 2 tomorrow?
No. You'll be at my house tomorrow.
Sunday? Part 2?
Ooh, thank you.
Tomorrow I'm going car shopping.
Not in my house.
Yeah, because I need to talk to your mom. And then Sunday we gotta go see Grandma.
Don't let me forget. Grandma's got to show me how to do Grandpa's meds. Because she's getting her shoulders done.
Oh. She won't be able to do it.
And then I got to beat my grandpa, too. I got to abuse him. Not literally abuse him. I want to make that clear.
There's an inside joke that she abuses her grandfather because she... What's an easy way of putting this?
I have the stubbornness, and just like he does. And I hold a little thread over his head. Because when he was really sick, like 2 years ago, right? Was it 2023? Yes. My grandma and my dad and my mom would all threaten him in order to get him to the hospital. Well, if you don't go willingly by ambulance or us taking you in, then I will call Casey and she will leave work and make you go in. I would full on take his truck, back it up to his door, and drag him out by his ears.
Not legitimately, but...
Well, the legitimate part is I would back the truck up to the doors.
Metaphorically. Drag him out by his ears. Because I believe that's elder abuse, if you actually did it. But yeah, she got the stubbornness like him, and all they gotta do is threaten him with her.
Alright, I'll do it. And when he was in a hospital up north, I told my grandmother never to let him get transferred to that hospital ever again. The most disgusting hospital. The floor was constantly sticky.
Ew.
And they were talking to my grandmother, like, with all the terms, not explaining them.
I hated that. Oh my god. I had to get rid of one of my dad's oncologists because of that.
I was standing there because I went to go visit him in the hospital once with my grandma and my dad. I took like the day off for it. And I was like, well, how do you know he doesn't have an infection anymore? They're like, well, the site looks good. I was like, well, most of his infection goes straight through his bloodstream. He doesn't really show signs. So when was the last time you did a blood test? Oh, right before his surgery. Well, can we get another blood test done? He's post-op now for 1 week. He can be going into septic shock at any moment. Well, he's not showing any signs. It runs in his bloodstream. You're not gonna get signs as it real quick. I was like, oh, and how frequently is he getting physical therapy? Oh, like twice a week for like 10 minutes. I was like, he can do majority of his physical therapy in bed. Why can't you just ask the nurse, hey, have you done hey, can we just sit here and, talk while you do your physical therapy? Like, have the physical therapist come in and show him how to do it. They could double team it. And I understand, like, multiple patients and stuff. But, like, not every patient has physical therapy. Not every nurse needs to do it, but, like, on the days the physical therapist doesn't go in, at least ask the nurse to do it once a day while the physical therapist isn't there. because his elbow is fused. Oh, the reason why I got yelled at my grandpa. My parents were over at the house on Thursday fixing his light because it finally decided to crap the shitter. And he calls for my grandma and goes, "You haven't gotten the cobwebs lately." My grandmother's shoulders are bad. Like, she can't even, like, just rest them on her legs or anything like that. It hurts.
Of course, the only time he notices the cobwebs when the light's not working.
Yeah. And he has some movement in his elbow. Not very much, but some. So he can use his left elbow to hold the bottom of the broom. And then he can use his right hand to move the broom. Because, he can move his shoulder just fine. So, like, he could hold, like, either way. Just move his whole arm instead of, just rotating it at the shoulder, or at the elbow.
I should probably mention he lost an arm in a car accident when he was younger, and that's why his elbow's fused.
The nerve. And it wasn't when he was fully younger. He was in his 20s, 30s.
That's still pretty young compared to how old he is now.
When you say younger, I think of him being in his childhood.
How old is that poor man?
78? 77?
When I say younger, you should be thinking like early 30s.
No. It was during his alcohol phase, so actually he might have been older. He might have been in his 50s.
Either way, he was still younger than what he is now.
And that's when he started sobering up. He didn't start sobering up until after my dad, I think. Hit their adulthood.
But yeah, that's why his elbows fused. But yeah, I hate when nurses or even oncologists speak in terms and don't bother explaining them. Like, we were in Pittsburgh Presbyterian, I think it was. And
I thought you weren't supposed to say names.
It's a hospital.
So? They don't know where you're from, correct?
No. There's like 3 million people in Pittsburgh. I'll be fine. Well, it's probably not 3 million, but you get the point.
It's
Either
something
way.
like that.
Yeah, we were there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we tested the fluids. He has a non-small cell adenocarcinoma." And we're both like, "Okay, what's that?" They were like, "Oh, it's a cell. It's a growth in his lungs or around his lungs." And we're like, "Okay, what's that? Is it a tumor? Is it an ear? Is he growing a third thumb?" And I'm like, "Oh no, it's cancer." I'm like, "You could have just said that." And I even had a similar situation when we were at the cancer center. I can't remember what it was, but they were talking about one of his treatments, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's this thing," and we're like, "Okay, what does that mean?" "Oh well, it means this." So I'm like, "Okay, can I request a new oncologist? You're not making any sense." And then we got one who's actually related to the guy who was my welding instructor in high school, because it's actually his dad. And I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool. It's nice to meet you." He was like, "Oh yeah, my son's told me all about you." I'm like, "Cool." And then I ran into my old instructor and I'm like, "Hey, you never told me your dad was an oncologist." And he just looks at me with a stone face and he was like, "Honestly, I didn't want you to ever know."
Oh. Gee.
Alright. I'm going to bed.
Alright, Zach. Go ahead, say it.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
The Gamers Tavern is now closed. See ya.
Goodbye.